Yeah. So it's a very bumpy market. It's very volatile. And then if let's say you already reduce your position sizing, which is great, because or else, right, you will have a very severe pullback in the past few days. Yeah. So you can see there is a crash, a fresh crash since like the end of, I think, end of, yeah, early June. Then you can see there's another pullback. Then only rebounded today pre-market. Yeah, so it's all right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me share my screen and then let's start with the overall markets. Okay. So first of all, let's see what happens to QQQ. So you can see that it's a very obvious we call it like a resistance here. Okay, a resistance here. So you can see that I'm actually drawing a box. So this is the previous high and this is the previous low, the latest previous low. So now we are actually at the support level. So the market is also, like rebound somewhere around here, the support level. So it's probably gonna be bumpy here. As long as it did not make the new high or break it, show momentums, right? It will still, like hanging around here, bumpy, right? So for the time being, right, in order to, take aggressive trading or revenge trading because you sold it away or your stop loss got hit and then it suddenly turned around. So you quickly jump back in, buy at a high price, and then it pull back again. So this is what usually gonna happens and it gonna kill us. It gonna kill our account because there's a bumpy, right? So your stop loss will keep hit and then you re-enter and it got hit again and you re-enter again. So from this, right, it's something like a piranha bite. And another thing is that when you're trading, your trading is not going too well, you don't have a well-being. So you will have like FOMO, or you'll be angry, or you will be just frustrated. Yeah. So the best thing to do is actually to reduce positions when the right is bumpy. Yeah. Yeah, or you might actually, buy or top up aggressively at the wrong timing and it actually drop further. Yeah, because you thought that, oh, okay, it's dropped and then, it just rebound quickly. So maybe I can shop at bargain. So you go and add positions, you double down. Then suddenly it actually pull back further. Yeah. So you're not gonna know this. So what happened? Like why the market starts suddenly, like become crashing modes, and then suddenly there's a pullback, and then we are not surprised. Like we've been telling everyone that the market, at one point, right, it will be exhaustions, and then it will start to pull back because the earning season is coming to the end. So good things is like today's pre-market is green is because thanks to MU, yeah, the earning is great, but sometimes you will have this earning surprise. So for example, like Oracle, the earning is great as well, but then the stock price just crashing. Yeah, because I think the company decided to reinvest the money and then they need a lot of money and spend a lot on this in AI infrastructure kind of things. So the forward looking is not great. So that's why investor is not buying that, since you need so much money to for expenses, I don't want to stay with you. I would rather to go to other stock, even though it's already extended, but it's still running upward. The hot money is still there. So I wanted to join the party. Yeah. So the overall market is like very, how to say, is irrational right now. And not to mention, we have Korea, yeah, taking the lead to crash 10%. Okay. And then we have a new Fed chair. So the new Fed chair is hawkish. So there is no rate cut, and he's signaling there's potential rate hike. And another thing is there will be a less guidance. So if you're not sure about this, how they do the Fed meetings, right? They actually have this dot things that you have to do. That there's like a dot meeting. So in the dot meetings, right, you will roughly, you will dot down like what is your preference. So for example, you're the hawkish one, or you are the one that urge to for rate cut, to be mild and all that. So he actually not going to implement that. He's saying that, you let the market to experience it so that you have an efficient market, an effective market. Let the market respond to it. So it's something like you go to auctions, auctions firms, and then you want to auctions for something, for example, a house, or a luxurious pieces or a paint. But then they tell you they're not gonna put a price there. So you will let the floor to decide. Yeah. There's no a floor price for you for your reference. So it's like a free and easy market. So let the market to actually respond and react to it. So this is he called the how to say effective market, that market efficiency, something like that. So there will be a less guidance, and then so the market is getting volatile. So the volatility will be in the market. Yeah, for long time. Yeah, this is like what the analyst says, not Angeline, but then the analyst. So I did watch the for FOMC since it's the first meeting, right? So yeah, you can feel that this guy is more like it's not so predictable, not like the previous Fed chair. Nice uncle, like, hey, good morning. You can actually know the market is going to crash based on what he say, good day or good afternoon, right? So this one is like yeah, different. It let the market to decide the price. Yeah, so you don't really have like a what to expect. Then another thing is it's a bit hawkish. Then the inflation rate is back, and then it's high. So what they want to do is control at 2%, but they now is actually shooting up. Yeah, for back to the new high. So that's why. Yeah. So some of the stocks, right, the overextended stocks, right, without a very strong fundamentals, right, or are still in, don't really have like business going on and all this, right, will got affected badly. Okay, so this is like one of the market outlook from the reasons, incidents going on. Yeah. So this is one, but it doesn't mean that the long-term uptrend is not intact. The long-term uptrend is still intact. Like we are still above all most of the MA line, even the midterm one, we are still above it. So you can see that this is but then there is some of the trend, right, is actually turning down. So what we need to be very, very, very careful, right, is the stocks that is not performing, first thing. And another thing is the stock that is already turning stage 2. Oh, sorry, stage 3. Okay, that is turning red. So you can see that PLTR. Okay, so this is our old favorite, favorite of the time. So I remember last year, I actually asked all the clients, whoever invested this, sell somewhere around 180. So, but at the end, it actually goes up to around like 100 and, sorry, about 200. Okay. So it actually goes up to 200. Yeah, last year. Okay. So, but the thing is, today's pricing is 110. Yeah, in such a fantastic bull market, right? Initially, we thought that this is one of the best defensive market because it is the one that, benefits from the war. Yeah, and all this like, drones and, walls and, aimings and all this, right? So we thought that it will be benefits from it. It's considered like one of the defensive counter. And some more that is defensive plus technology. Yeah. But the thing is, it didn't tell the same thing. It actually crashed. Yeah. So if let's say you guys are actually watching videos, like scrolling phones on Instagram and all that, when there's fundamentals, fundamentalists, right? There's a lot of like there's two type of trader. So one is the technicals trader, something like us. We refer to chart, we see the hot money, we see the setup, and then we also focus on macro economy, like what is going on in the current world. So you get to know what is the current sentiment and all this. So this is what we do. We do trend following. But there's another type of investor or trader. They are fundamentalists. So they focus on the fundamental. So they will say that, they will look at the PE, they will look at what are the things that stated in the revenues and all this. They will use all this to actually to create a story. So most of the time, when all this of the fundamentalists come in, yeah, you have to be very, very careful. Okay. Because another fundamentalist stocks, is Microsoft, because Microsoft invests in OpenAI, so he holds 49% of the stake. So, oh yeah, this, that. But this is what happened to Microsoft. It actually crashing. The Magnificent Seven is no longer magnificent. Yeah, it's more like, yeah, it's crashing down. Okay. So another like Oracle. Okay, Oracle is not so fundamental, but okay, one of it like Microsoft and this Palantir, yes, or the options trader, right? They like to do this. But I remember very, very, very clearly. Okay, C Limited. So this is the stock that we started to invest since year 2019. Okay, so this is 2024. Let me go back. Okay, 2019. Okay, so 2019. When Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, the guy, the handsome guy, the footballer, that he started to take the help Shopee to run a commercials, a big campaigns, and everyone is like featuring this Shopee. And then, later on, right, a lot of Southeast Asia started to use Shopee, right, to actually to have this, it's like a new Baba, it's like a new Amazon. So the stocks actually take off. But here, right, actually those fundamentalists, right, they never invest in C Limited. Reason being is, first of all, it's new. It's just a platform without much asset invested, you know like Warren Buffett will definitely not invest in company like this because he will see this as an empty shell company. Yeah. Reason being is there is no, a real asset invested. And second of all, it's losing money, it's bleeding. Yeah, there's no revenue generated. And they don't even own the goods. It's just a platform for people to buy and sell. Yeah. And then they give all this free voucher and all this like so it's actually not a money making business, but the share price actually took off. Okay, because stock investment is always forwards looking, right? So for us, right, we don't do so much of the fundamentals job, but then we look at, oh, what is the business model? Is it the current trend? And yes, it is. It is the current trend, during year 2019 to like, 2021, 2022. Yeah, because that time there's a lot of like online shoppings going on, right? So it's really like a massive, crazy bull run. It's something like today's SNDK. Okay. So later on, right, I remember one of the options trader, right? So he actually accumulate this C Limited because it suddenly become a fundamental company. So they started to expand the business and the business suddenly turned there's like a positive cash flow already, there's revenue generators and massive, like then suddenly it become a company with fundamental. And suddenly the stock market, the share price crash. Reason being is those that actually buy following the trend, the hot money and everything, they're going to harvest, at one time, just like farmer, right? They will harvest their crops one time, right? So the same goes to stocks like this. So what we really need to watch out, right? Is that you need to be careful, especially even a stocks, right? It really goes up like crazy, but you still need to be very careful. If the trend bend, there's turning stage 3, there's sell signal, and there's, like the SMI, the hot money is getting lesser and lesser. You need to believe. You need to look at the chart instead of your guts feeling or the fundamentalists have to say. Because most of the time, a lot of fundamentalists always 翻车 means it's like flip boat. Yeah. So have to be careful. So this is the previous biggest trend during 2019, until COVID and all this. Yeah, this is what happened back then, right? So C Limited. So it actually crashed more than 90%. Yeah. And at the time, I think it's also like a billions, I don't know how many hundreds billions, yeah, company. And now it's only okay, but then there's a second runner here, somewhere here. Okay, from here to here, then it crash again. But what we want is a trend. Yeah. So when the trends end, right, you have to sell. Because if you don't sell, then you are actually holding, yeah, it become an empty shell. Yeah, you're holding that, but then you will have massive losses. Not to mention, you are actually adding positions on the way up. And if you never sell, right, your average price is not gonna be $20. It's gonna be like, $200. So when from $200 crash to $20, That is a massive losses. So this is like one thing that you really need to be careful. Yeah, you can even like print this chart out and remind it yourself. So because I experienced this before, I know how a stock, a bad stocks, right, can crash badly, right? So that's why understand that. Yeah. Yeah. But good things is that after this limited, many things going on, right? That time is like all the coin, right? So like Nvidia, yeah, is the one that got me out of the C limited because I have a new boyfriend, a new veggie as compared to C limited, right? Okay. So this one is also there's like a big wave, during COVID year. Yeah, and then suddenly it also crashed lah. Yeah, after they decided to increase the interest rate, right? So it also crashed. So this one, right, the actually it not crashed so badly because there's a big trend because of Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to all the cryptocurrency trader nowadays since like Bitcoins never came back. Yeah. It's like it's still traded around like 60,000. It was 100 over thousand back then, right? So sometimes when the trend is no longer the biggest trend in the market, is no longer the theme or the current trend, right? You have to let it go. Yeah, don't date your stock. You can date your stock, don't marry your stock. Yeah, you can date your stock, but don't marry your stock. Okay, so that when it crash, right, you can still get rid of it easily. Yeah, just one click. Okay, so this is what happened. And now, right, Nvidia is also become not so not a very favorable stocks. Yeah, because it's relatively strong. Is the relatively weak, sorry, not strong, weak, as compared to the rest of the AI stocks, right? All the buddy that he stand on stage and recommended. Yeah, all of that, like previously he recommended like Dell, and back then is SMIC. Then there's so many, oh, they're a good friend of mine, and then oh, they're doing this business. He gives all these recommendations, and all these stocks is actually doing quite well. Yeah, but it itself, right, is not, because it's like become too big. It's $5 trillion company, so it's just a bit like too massive for these stocks to move up. Okay, yeah. So this is the interpretations that I'm giving you. So like you have to be careful when the stocks turn red and that is low in the smart money index, meaning to say that there is a trend change. Okay, so if you ask me if C Limited got the chance to come back, it did come back. So I think from 20 over dollar, it did rebound like a second wave to here. Okay, so here, $30, and then it actually goes up to 190. But if let's say you say, oh, going back to the peak, right? Not so. So if let's say you buy one time here and then the second round here, it's better. Better than you holding a same counter for few years. Yeah, if let's say you were to hold a stocks for 5 or 10 years, right? I would rather ask you to hold like S&P 500 because it's combined of 500 stock. Yeah. Okay. So for individual stock, there will be risk. So you have to be very clear about that. Yeah. You are trading stock. You are not marrying stock. Yeah. Okay. So we are trader. We are investor. Correct. Very good. Follow the process. This is very crucial. So when the market is like volatile, right? You follow the process. This is the easiest way so that you actually have a better livelihood. You can sleep at night. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry that, oh, I wake up this morning and then my asset, my net worth just, you know, disappear, like reduced by 30% or 20% overnight because of the market actually crashed last night. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. So when the market is about to top out and peak, right? Usually the finals, the end, right? Yeah, the crazy maniac moments, right? When everyone is very greedy, right? You just have to reduce your position sizing. Correct. So you can see that Google is also weak. Yeah. So I think that is a news. It's about one of the team, amazing team, yeah, from Google's actually joined Anthropic. So I think got some affected it. Yeah. So you can see that the major stock, the previous good stocks is actually become quite weak. Yeah, but AMZ, and I think yesterday, no, it's actually sell off. Yeah. So you can see that the Magnificent Seven is not so magnificent. Yeah. Okay. So like is actually going, this one is red. Google is red. Okay, so let's see. Meta is so red. It's like the worst Magnificent Seven this year, I feel like. So this is Meta. So I think I don't want to be part of it when he's doing all this like workforce reductions and then introducing like a new AI things to help with the ads and everything. So he is in the process of like making the company better, but sometimes right it will take times. It will take times. Yeah. So when it's still crashing, right, I don't want to be part of it. Yeah, unless it actually can actually goes up. Yeah, above, at least above the MA 200, like 一半，它在一半的以上。Yeah, so now you can see that the chart is actually here. So at least halfway through, at least he can rebound halfway through. So you can see that now is really the chart is just ugly. And it's red in stage 4. In current market, when the market is like so bullish, it was like in stage 4 most of the time. Yeah, even like there is a trend, it's also a short-term trend, then it crashed again. And it crashed quite bad, quite ugly. Okay, so this is one of the Magnificent Seven. So just now Nvidia is also red. So what else we have? Is what else? Can you guys remind me? I think it's been a while. I didn't really trade the Max 7. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Danny. Correct. Google's vice president of engineering and co-lead of its Gemini AI model announced he's leaving Google to join OpenAI. Oh, OpenAI is not Anthropic. I see. Okay. So Microsoft is also like, it's really soft. Yeah, it's so soft. Like what the heck? Yeah, it's bad. Okay. So you can see that the overall the big cap, right, is actually not doing quite well. The mega cap stock. And then we have Netflix and Netflix. Hey, Netflix. Okay. Yeah. Ugly. So I think this is like AI. So you can see there's a lot of movies coming out using AI to generate the storyline and all that. So this one is also not doing quite well. Like, yeah. What else? Oh, Apple. Apple, I think, is the one that still stands strong, but also turn red. So most of the mega cap, right, actually turn red. So if let's say the mega cap able to turn around, the fund actually flow into the mega cap, probably the bull market will still continue, or maybe just not the mega cap company. Yeah, maybe just not the mega cap company. So AMZN, Amazon is also in stage 3, is also in red. And Tesla, oh, horrible. But good things is I shorted SpaceX. So I'm like, yes. Okay. So this is also turning red. So it's also in stage 3. And oh, TSM is actually holding up quite well. Yeah. Amazing. But I think, is TSM considered one of the Max 7? I don't think so. Yeah, so yeah, then I think yesterday I do day trade shorting arms. So like we have this strategy called the parabolic short. So it's basically that you short it, when it go below yesterday low, then you can short it. Yeah. So then I close the positions. Luckily I closed the positions. Yeah. So usually for short positions, if let's say I make money, right, I'll just go first. So that's why I don't really introduce you guys how to do short or send stock recommendations in the chat, in the group, or in the, yeah. So because it's sometimes it's not really that profitable. Usually it's just like pocket money. Probably sometimes it's like few $100s, then I'm like good to go already. Okay. Yeah. So it's really not good. So sometimes it's just like, yeah, if let's say you want, right, you really need something that, like cars. Like this is like the best shot ever. Like this is really the best one. Since I have a trading account open until today, right? This is the best shot. Yeah. Even the market crash, right? I never get to short a stocks, that actually crash like 70%. Yeah. Actually, it's not 70%, but because my profit is about that. Yeah. So it's actually more than 70%. Yeah, about 80%. So this is the best. So Apple is one of considered the defensive one, but you can see it's also turning red. So have to be careful. So you can see that the overall market is a little bit slower down. It's a bit slower down. Yeah. Okay. I have to tell everyone again, do not short um big cap. Yeah, a stocks that is really with fundamental is really doing real business. Yeah, you can actually short stocks like this. Yeah, like car, you can short stocks like this, but definitely you don't short SNDK. Like this is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, this one, right? Your head will be chopped off. You're trying to chop the head, right? No, your head will be chopped off. Yeah, so it's not good. It's not good. Yeah, don't. Really don't. Even like MU and all this, right? Better not to. Because all this company, right, is really doing business and there is like a product. And another thing is like it's on demand. So never short this. But if let's say you shorted Palantir, yeah, you are actually making some good money though. Yeah, Palantir or yeah, Palantir, yes. So for Netflix, right, probably I also won't short it. Yeah, because like it's actually not a stock that will crash. Yeah, it's dropped tremendously, but then since it's one of the Magnificent Sevens, right, it's a trillion company, right? If you shorted stocks like this, right, it's still quite horrible. Yeah, SMCI, if you shorted it previously, yes. Mm, yeah. So you can, yeah. So personally, I try not to short stocks that is, really have like products and it's like, you know, yeah, because you wouldn't know. Suddenly there's white knight, they will see that, oh, this business got potentials, let's invest in it. Yeah, but you want to short the stocks, right? No investor in the right mind will invest or go and catch the falling knife. So for example, like cars, you know, like rental and leasing. So yeah, and then the chart is just abnormal, and then it's small cap. Yeah, it's small. So you can short the stocks like this. But better to say, like I mentioned previously, you do not have to be doing short sell or good at short selling to become a good trader. So most of the profitable trader, right? Sometimes they don't do short. Yeah, for me it's because because I have to monitor the market after all. So I just buy lah. Yeah. So previously I did try to short Marvel. Remember, I think I also mentioned this in one of the Q&A sessions, and then I have to quickly close it, right? Yeah, because yeah, you don't short the company that is considered like mid to big cap company. And then with like the strong sector. Yeah. Because it might surprise you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing is your blood pressures told you not to. Yes, correct. So sometimes shorts the market, right? It's just like for fun. So okay, another thing that why I was shorted SpaceX. Okay. SpaceX, SPCX, SPCX. Okay. Oh, SpaceX. Wait, I think it's SPCX, right? Let me check. Yeah, I think so. So reason I shorted this, right, is because too many people are buying it. Like then it hit one of the goal because like we have another IPO coming up, Entropic, right? So and then you can see that a lot of people actually FOMO to buy. Yeah, and it's like a biggest hype and it's trillion of dollar. So imagine this one is like a whale in the market, trillion, IPO and immediately become a trillions company, right? So imagine if this one actually crash, the money will flow into the market. Yeah, and to be honest, I know a clients, but not my clients from Andy side. This is someone's I know from Andy side. I just know the name. I never meet a person's probably no, rumors. I'm not sure, but he actually get SpaceX IPO long before it was listed. Yeah, so it's like a pre-IPO. Got it through like private equity, and then the money that you have to invest is nine figure because I think the minimum per lot is like 1 million shares or what. Yeah. So remember like previously M Plus Globals have the US IPO for Chagi, is it? Yeah. So that one is also the same like M Plus have to buy the whole lot and then like split it to small lots and then distribute to the investor. So you can see like how much money, all this money from the private equities and all this, right? They've been sitting in for years. So when, it finally listed, right? Of course, you can just sell because you don't know how you make how many times already. Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's listed, right? You already like make crazy of money. Crazy of money. Yeah. I need to ask him how much he actually subscribed for that. What is the pricing? Yeah, definitely not the price that listed on board. Definitely not. Yeah, because they will go through a process, right? The valuations, right? So they get in at a very, very like cheap price. So of course they're gonna sell it away to the market. Finally, you get to cash out. And when is the best timing to cash out? IPO. And not to mention, right, this one, right, is really like the biggest IPO ever. So I won't buy it, but I shorted it. Yeah, but then now I actually cash out already. Yeah, I cash out already because I see probably it might rebound here somewhere. So I actually cash out. Yeah. So 20% is consider a good profit, right? Yeah, suddenly. And especially, you are kind of like happy, when everyone is cursing, like, give me back my money, this IPO. Remember the story that I posted yesterday on Instagram? Yeah. So but the money, where does the money goes? So if let's say they sell it, where does the money go? Or they will invest in the next IPO? Yeah, not sure. Let's see how. Okay. So this is like now I actually keep my position size small. So that's why I still do different kind of trade. Yeah. Then okay, let's look at SPY. So this is S&P 500 is also turn red, but then now it's actually rebound above the support level somewhere here, at the midterms support. So yeah, but then it's turn red though, and then the SMI index actually reducing. So we follow to reduce our position size. So if the markets, right, getting volatile, like sideways, right, then you are not so stressful. Yeah, you're not so stressful. Okay, so let's see how it goes. So DIA. Yeah, DIA is still blue, so this is quite normal since it's like act as a defensive, people that park their money. Oh, but one thing that is quite surprising is the small cap index. It's actually very strong. Yeah. So I actually buy some TNA. Yeah, somewhere here, somewhere. Yeah, so it's profiting. Yeah. So yeah, surprisingly strong. I think it's because of this blue arrow. Yeah. So it's surprisingly strong. TNA. Yeah. So TNA is the three times leverage for IWM, the small cap index. So after yesterday close, there's also a blue arrow. So let's see how. I do have some, but like I say, it's not a big positions. Yeah, it's a size that I feel like it's manageable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Oh yeah, and if let's say you're really going to do short selling, right, you must have your stop loss in place. Yeah, because I think one of the hedge fund manager actually shorted Tesla, and eventually, right, I don't know how many percents. Yeah, I think it's crazy percent. Because Tesla actually go like crazy. Okay. Yeah, but luckily for all the size that he traded, right, the percentage, right, is not more than 1% because of the rules that he's one of the fund manager. You can actually look up this story online. Yeah, luckily. So he actually one of the guy that shorted Tesla. So like I mentioned, never shorted a stocks, that is really doing business. And there's like, especially the CEO is such a charismatic person. Yeah, don't short the stocks like this. You want to short the stock that is like bullshit. Yeah, but keep your position size very, very small. Okay. Yeah. So IWM is really doing well. Like I'm quite surprised. Like I said, how come my TNA is making money and the market is crashing and it looks quite strong. Okay. So Marvel previously it's a laggard, but now it's quite strong. Yeah, it's quite strong. Okay. Yeah, correct. So Danny says SpaceX went up to the moon and land back at Earth. Yeah, correct. So now let's look at some of the stocks that I see potentials. shall we? So COHR can have a look. Can have a look. So you can see that is also one of the stock that is holding up. Yeah, it's one of the stock that is holding up. But add in the watch list first. And another one can really like add into your watch list. This is especially mentions by Donald Trump. Okay, about quantum computing and all this. So let's see how it goes. It's in my watch list. I'm not in it yet, but let's see how it goes. Then okay, someone say Onto. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. So now, right, we actually focus on the setup. Yeah, focus on the setup. So some of the market might be extended, some of the sector might be extended, or some of the sector might be crashing and all that. So that's why we try to only focus on setup. Like if a stock that is set up, you can try with small positions. So you're not gonna miss out the trend. And another thing is you can actually sharpen up your trading skill. Okay, Dell is doing well. That is great. It's also so strong. You see, like never filling up the gap. Yeah, it's still above the gap up. So I think there is like a serious money in it. So the persons in this right actually have this holding power. So it's doing quite well. INTC, let's have a look. Yeah, same. Same goes to Intel. So previously, the champions, the hero, the best one is always Nvidia. But I think, yeah, in this market environment, right, some of the fund actually flow to different sector. Oh yeah, and one of my recent favorite, Credo. But it's a bit volatile though, but it's doing quite well. That they actually like, wow, I have made, you know, five-figure US dollars profit. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's so crazy. Yeah, in such market conditions, I'm still able to make so much. Then it come down a little bit, but it's still holding up quite well. So I see potentials in it. Yeah, but I did adjust my size. Yeah, because I think the up and down percentage is quite crazy, 10%. Yeah. So because we cannot really control the rocket percentage, it means like the volatility. But so we try to control if let's say you really want to hold a stocks, right? Then you don't want to have like massive loss if let's say there's like a strong pullback, right? So and if let's say you had a stop loss, a tight stop loss, it will easily hit, right? So I will actually reduce the position size to I see that as like a reasonable amount that the risk in dollar terms I can tolerate. Yeah, then I will sell some. Yeah, I will adjust my position sizing. If let's say I really want to hold the stock, if let's say like there's nothing wrong about the stock, stage two uptrend, the uptrend is still intact, then it's also one of the thematic like the strong sector. Yeah, then if I really want to hold it, right, but then I don't want it to suddenly there's like a swing, then half of my profit is gone, right? Then I will reduce my position sizing so that even there is a swing, right, the risk is not so crazy. Yeah, in terms of dollar, it's not so crazy. Yeah, then Dell is really one of it, and then NOK is also surprisingly um yeah, setting up it's turn rate, but then let's see if it is able to turn around. Yeah, so there's like a small candles here. Yeah, turn around small candles, and then didn't really break. Yeah, so let's see how is it. Yeah, this is Nokia is also quite strong. Then another one is Wolf. Yeah, this one you also can actually monitor it closely. So this one is actually a same industry, same sector as this HIVE. Okay. Yeah, but a little bit choppy. But I know that, it the volume is good, It's actually trigger and then it's appear in the black horse, if not mistaken. Yeah, so yeah, but let's see how it but now it's actually a big candle, so I don't like big candle. Yeah. So WULF. Yeah, let's see how is it. So for this kind of stocks, right, and then it's like small, right, less than 30B, right? Usually I'll only invest less than 1% of my total portfolio. Yeah, so for certain stocks, right, it will be less than 1%. Okay. Then we have like GLW. Yeah, this is my old veggie. It's still looking great, still looking good, but then a little bit volatile here. Big candles, the candle is a bit loose. Yeah, but overall, it's still a big uptrend. So as long as the uptrend, right, the big wave, right, is still intact, right, then it was still in my list. Yeah, it was still in my list. Then AMD actually, yeah, how to say, if you compare to AMD and Nvidia, right, AMD is really leading. Yeah, so this one is like, if you were to choose, right, AMD. Yeah, Nvidia, I think, is no longer the strongest lah. Like, it become a whale, it's too big. So you can't really like swim around already. And then you don't really have like expectations on it already. Yeah. And then it's weak. If let's say it's like solid, strong, you hold it, for security and all this, right? It's still okay. But then it's not really like, safe to hold. So it's not a very defensive looking or a very 温顺的一个股票. Yeah, it's not like a very tame kind of stocks. Yeah, so maybe not so. But AMD looking good, strong. Yeah. Oh, I still have Ahmad. Like, this is crazy. Like, yeah, because the uptrend is still intact, right? So even though I reduce my positions and all that, right, I still hold it because it just looks all right. It just look good. So that's why I have 77% profits. Yeah, it's also another, yeah, five figures profits now. Yeah. So this is good, Ahmad. Okay, then AMD. Okay, BE, yes, just volatile. Yeah, actually, the only problems is it's volatile. Yeah, previously it actually turned red, but now turned around and then it's even making a new high. So I think it's a keep. Yeah, it's a keep. Okay, then we have HUT. Let's see. Or okay, yeah, like same lor. With HIVE, with WULF, and this one HUT, all in the same industry. Okay, yeah. So usually I won't invest so many on the same industry. Yeah, especially like some of the industry is like not my familiarity. Usually my favorite is tech. Yeah, usually it's my tech. Okay, then let's see snowflakes. Yeah. Okay. So this one is like what we really want to see, right? Is there's a gap up, and then it have to maintain hold above the gap. Something like Dell, you must hold above the gap. Yeah. So this one, right, now is slightly below the gap already. So you have to be more careful. So usually we really like to see a big volume spike. So this one is like a black horse. Yeah, but you have to make sure that it actually hold above the gap. So, like previously it happened to Oracle ORCL. Okay. So there's like a gap up here. Where is it? ORCL. Okay, I think here, maybe this one. Yeah, but it didn't really hold above the gap. And after it closed below the gap, right, it just crashed all the way. Yeah, I think it's here. Yeah, so we want to have something that can actually hold above the gap. Yeah. Okay. So because if it's not hold above the gap, right, meaning the people's that, the volume that it comes in here, right, it's not making money, then it's just selling off and selling off and selling off and selling off. Okay. And Xian, I think gotta be careful. Yeah, I think Andy did say something about it. Yeah, the previous champion, right? And now it's at stage 3, right? So gotta be careful a little bit. So any stocks, as long as in stage 3, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Okay. So yes, you should run first. Yeah, you should run first and see how it goes. Yeah, no, not waiting inside. Okay, should run first is snowflakes. Yeah. Okay, Xian. Okay. Then STX and WDC sayang also drop, right? But then it's so extended. So I think these corrections, right, is really expected. Yeah, it's really expected. So now it's still green color. Yeah, it's still green, it's still blue. So it's still above the top signal. So let's see how. So far it's still the uptrend is still intact. Yeah, the uptrend is still intact. Okay. Okay. Then WDC also the same story. Mm. Same, same story. So see how the market goes. But for me, I do have both. I have STX, I have WDC, but I just don't add positions. Yeah, I just hold it. Yeah, with the profit margins I have, right? So I don't add positions now. I just see whether there is like, should I? If it's, I don't find a very like valid, reason for me to do so, right? A very strong setup, right? Then I wouldn't risk the money. Because a lot of times, right? Like when you add positions at the wrong timing, right? You will actually give up your previous wins. Yeah, you give up your previous win. Okay. So Soxo, interesting facts. I actually bought it yesterday. Yeah. Because I feel like, it's a combination of all the semiconductor. Let's just go for it. Yeah. But but my trading styles, right? I always have a account that is ready for risky trade, and like Soxo is always my favorite to do short term trading. There's a lot of times I do short term trading using Soxo already. So yeah, it's purely for gambling. Okay, not gambling, purely for short term trading only. Yeah. Okay. So I keep the position small. So now I'm actually quite happy. I'm actually sitting like, few thousands profit. So I'm like, oh yes. But it's a risk because yesterday, right? It actually the market got sell off, right? Then this morning also, suddenly there's a gap up because of MU, right? So I wouldn't say that is the right things to do. Yeah. So when the market is volatile, right? Usually we will ask you to avoid it. Yeah. So for us, right, we will actually have like we will control the size. We will control the size. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, let's see. Continue. CAT. Caterpillar. Oh my God, so strong. Yeah, it's very nice. CAT, very nice. Okay, then so what we want to see, right, for stocks that is turning stage three, right, that is turn red, right? I can give you a very good example, which is GEV. So you can see that previously it break the uptrend line, then it turned red, then it dropped, but then it turned around. So you need to see the rebound is such a strong rebound. So if let's say like there's like never rebound, right? Maybe like your what stocks that never rebound. Okay, for example, like Meta, you know, a stocks that crash and never rebound but then drop further, right? Yeah, meaning to say it's like no hope already. So you want to see a stocks when they turn stage three, right? It does turn around. So what we want to see in Google now is stage three, right? We want to see that it's a turn around. You see here, like a strong turn around. Yeah. So you have to quickly turn back to green color. If let's say the rebound is not strong, right? Yeah, then it's critical. It's critical. Okay. So you can actually mark this down for stocks, right? Now it's at stage three, right? You want to see that it's a strong comeback. So the very good example is GEV. Yeah. A strong comeback. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes there is a correction, it's normal, it's expected. Probably, like after the earnings and all this, all the hypes and everything, right? Or during the business cycles and all this, right? But after that, right, when market rebound or some, like after certain times, right, you need to see a strong rebound. Then it's considered good. Yeah, consider like all the trends is continue carry on. If not, right, then you really have to run. Yeah. Oh, speaking of run, oh my God, sun run yesterday. Yeah, actually like, jump up. But this is fail because it's actually close low. See, it jump up and then it close low. But there's a volume, a great volume. So let's continue to monitor. Add this in your watch list and see how. It's in solar. So it's consider one of the sector that we can actually look out for. Previously like ENPH, right? And face ENPH. Yeah, also a strong bullish run up and then it crashed. So I think like overall solar is not doing so well. I think it affected Malaysia also solar vest. Let's see. Yeah, there's also a drop today. Okay. So MU is still making new high, but at this point, right, it's really hard for you to jump in. Yeah, it's really hard for you to jump in. So in order to actually like sit on stocks like this, right, you can only control your position sizing. Yeah, or else it's really hard for you to actually hold up to stock like this. Then Nibius, okay, it's good. is stage 2. Yeah, just the candle is a bit loose. So continue to monitor for small candles if let's say you are for entry. Yeah, then MTZ. Yeah, so this one is look like GEV also turn red, then strong turnaround. Yeah. So blue arrow tonight. So it's good. It's good. ANET. Oh, ANET. This one, oh. Uh Same like is it ANET? Is it wait, let me see. Yeah, correct. Anal is two times of ANET, right? I don't have a very good experience with anal. So personally, I might not invest in stock like this because you can see it's you don't have the linear, like it's like up and down and it's quite choppy. So it might not be my cup of tea. Yeah, for ANET, right? It's not really my tea. Yeah. If you try then you have to like monitor. I like stocks that is like really like, 温顺, linear and all this. Very smooth, right? I don't like bumpy, right? I don't like bumpy, right? Yeah. So SMH. Yeah, it's actually still trending. Oh, TER is actually quite good. Yeah, TER is actually doing quite well. It's quite good. Yeah, I still have this in my the long. I hold it for quite some time already. Yeah, sometimes even it turned red, right? I still have some because like it didn't really like break the my final like my final what you call that 最后的防线 the final it didn't really cross the final line, so I still have. So then INSW. Yeah, this one is also okay, not bad. Yeah, oil and gas, so you can actually like diversify your portfolio. Then PWR. Yeah. So you can see that now it's also like turn up. So it actually break the downtrend line already. So you can see somewhere trading here. But if let's say it cannot like continue to go up also like not so strong. Okay. So far like I think like it's a mix. The market is actually mixed. Some of the stock is crashing. Yeah, usually it's the mega cap. And then some of the extended stocks previously. And now it's like, digest. And some of the stocks is still going up. So we trade the setup and then we manage the size, the position sizing. IONQ. Okay, turn red, so be careful. Yeah, not so strong, so be careful. Then there's a stock. Let's see, TTMI. Yeah, this one is also quite strong. TTMI. Yeah, you can see we actually want to have stocks like this. Yeah, even with the market like it's a strong sell off, like they're still holding up. Yeah, it's still holding up. So this type of stock is like you are easy to hold it. Yeah, easy to hold it. It's not a bumpy ride. Yeah, it's not a bumpy ride. Oh yeah, then there's the one I really want to see. Check out. I have this drum. Yeah, okay. It's still blue. Yeah, it's uptrend though. So this one. But now pre-market actually I think up 10% or something. So have to be careful. Mm. Yeah, I think overall is like, yeah, so far is this. If let's say it's stage 2 uptrend or is above the super trend line, then consider as quite okay. Then Q. Yeah, Quinity is also okay. Yeah, stage 2. New stock. Let's see Tigo. I'm not sure it's still good or not. Yeah, same. It's also stage 2 uptrend. Yeah, Tigo. Okay, so these are the few stock that is actually in my target list. Yeah, it's in my target list. So you guys can actually like jot this down. And if let's say I miss out anything, right? Yeah, you can let me know as well. Okay. ROST. Yeah. So stage 2 uptrends, okay, and then is defensive side. So Yeah, you can actually like diversify your portfolio. Don't have to be like 100% all the, rocket percentage more than 5% kind of setup, or, semiconductor or technology. You can actually diversify. This one is actually quite okay. Okay, then let's see our APLD. This one a bit weak, a bit weak. It looked like, it can't break the previous like, yeah, resistance, and then now it's at the support. Yeah, it's at the support. Okay, so this one applied material a bit weak. Then BTSG. Wow, this is strong. Yeah, this is strong. Mm, okay. Yeah, this is strong. SFM. Oh, this one cannot. It's like previous is my previous favorite, but now is no more. Yeah. Okay. EAT. Not so fantastic. Like normal sideway for long term sideway. So no. Yeah, not my type. Yeah, not my type. Mm. Okay, so I think let's see any blue arrow or short terms arrow. Okay. Okay, I think there's many. Okay, so GLW, there's a blue arrow tonight. CAT, yeah, all this. Yeah, but then GLW, the candle is a bit loose. So CAT is probably better. Yeah, because it's like a smaller candles. Mm. Then oh, this is South Korea. Oh, horrible. Okay. Yeah, nothing much. So I think all the stocks that we actually like discussed just now is quite the best already. So TNA, there's also a blue arrow. So let's see that any like first blue arrow that from red turn blue or not. Oh, speaking of that, it's actually a good time for everyone to actually secure your tickets for the offline events in August. Yeah. So you guys can actually book the tickets at the link. Then also, you can, when you are making some money, right? Actually, it's good to cash out some of the money and then to, you know, renew your system, invest in system, or like invest in NDUC. So I think it's quite good. First blue arrow, I think that's nothing much. Yeah. Mm, I think I have covered most of the questions, and then also we have come out stocks. Yeah. So I think pretty much that's all. So if let's say you have further questions, you can actually like post it in the group. What about gold? Hmm. I'm not sure. Like, it's not it's not in my portfolio. Yeah, no, it's not in my portfolio. Yeah. So gold is not in my portfolio though. Yeah. Now it's like red, so red and crash. So they have come to settlement already. Okay. So our top student is still Venice, like really the best. It's always the best. Yeah. So she actually jot down everything, the stocks that we mentioned just now. So great. Yeah, like top student. Thank you so much. So we need more Venice because it is really nice. So because sometimes some of the stock I might miss out as well. So it's really good. Yeah, correct. So yeah, for students like this, right, it will receive a top student awards. Yeah. Thanks, for the help, for the community. Yeah. Like really the best. Previously, when Andy is doing like Facebook Live for the weekend study, right? Oh, Venice will be the one that jot down everything with help me so much. So, when that time, right, the AI is still not so like advanced yet, right? to do the notes and everything, right? Oh, Venice notes is the best. Yeah, it's really now it's still the best because a lot of place, right, where AI they will actually jot down, something wrongly, especially our slang, right, with the Malaysian slangs, right? Or sometimes we mix between like Mandarin and English, right? It can't really like catch us like nicely. So thank you so much for Venice. Yeah. Correct. The best, like really the best. Okay, so I think pretty much that's it. So I think it's like a good point to end it here, and I'll upload the video later on to the weekend the portal, the membership portal. But I think sometimes it needs some time to render. Okay, and thank you so much for joining the Q&A sessions, and let's see how the markets goes. Okay, thank you, and then I hope to see everyone in the offline event in August. Okay, bye bye.